it's absolutely the right thing for Congressman Putnam to come home to his family, but also come home to Florida to serve you and continue Florida's path of being the bastion of conservatism. So without ado, it's my pleasure to introduce my dear friend, Congressman Adam Putnam.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you. It might not be any good. There aren't too many, there aren't enough town hall meetings and meetings with members of Congress that are going that well and receiving that kind of welcome, but I guess if you're on the right side of the issues, then the people will recognize it. But it's... It is an honor to be with you this evening and to share some thoughts with you about the direction of our state, the direction of our country. Let me begin by thanking the Hillsborough County Republican Party, beginning with its chairman, Debbie Cox Roush. Debbie? Her leadership of the state committeemen, committeewoman, the whole board, their executive director. This is a county that gets it. This is not an even-numbered year. This is August of the off-year election, and this is what counties who get it can pull together in terms of channeling energy and passion and maybe even a little anger that's out there and turning it into positive energy where we can make a difference in the next election. That's really what these lecture series are all about. Continuing that momentum. Too often, when it's like that famous Norman Rockwell picture of the campaign headquarters after the guy's lost, and there's just stuff everywhere, and all the campaign signs and the chalkboard tallies in the background. We pack everything up, and then we don't reopen it until the 4th of July of the next even-numbered year. You can't win elections doing that. And so, what Chairman Roush and the rest of the committee is doing with this lecture series is hugely important. And I want to thank you for that. And I want to thank y'all for being a part of that. America is in the middle of a great national debate. Not just about health care, but about spending, about climate change, about the relationship of employers and employees. But really it's a national debate about the relationship between a government and its people. And there is a growing sense that government is consistently overstepping its bounds and infringing on the individual rights and infringing on the liberties that so many men and women have fought and died for over time and continue to sacrifice so much for to protect. So this is a great national debate about something that is a great issue. It is a consequential issue. We are arguing about big things. And that is healthy for America. So no one should say that that is un-American or unpatriotic. In fact, it is the essence of America. It is the essence of being an American to write a letter to the editor. It is the essence of being an American to be able to hold up a sign that say unflattering things about your congressman or your senator or your president or your mayor. It is inherently American to have a debate standing in the checkout line at the grocery store because somebody's wearing a ball cap that says one political message and someone's wearing a t-shirt that has an entirely different political message, and neither one of those individuals is in jeopardy of being arrested for the political message that they're wearing. That is America. Elections have consequences, and we as Americans accept those consequences. We accept that change comes in the ballot box through a fair process where candidates have campaigned, they have made their ideology, their philosophy, their positions clear, and then we allow our fighting, if you will, to occur in debates and on talk radio and on television. Florida was host to the playoff game of a great tiebreaker in a presidential election in 2000. And yet there were more cars turned over, more trash cans set on fire, more windows broken when a particular basketball team wins the NBA Finals than when you have a constitutional crisis in America. It's because we as Americans implicitly believe in our institutions. But people are now concerned about where we're going with those institutions. And so, because those elections have consequences, it's important that we mobilize and stay mobilized. If we can't harness the passion that's out there right now and sustain it for 15 months, we will have missed an opportunity to save our country for the next 30 years. I mean, the stakes really are that high. But anger alone will not get us there. You know, anger is like Chinese food. You know, it's very filling. You know, you sit down, you eat it, you go back maybe a couple more times to the buffet, and then you go home, and an hour and a half later you're hungry again, right? We're not going to get back the American people to the Republican Party or bring back the American people to conservative values if we're counting on the anger in August of this year to carry into the next election. It's not enough. We need to give them a reason to believe in what we believe in, which means showing them, demonstrating, living our values and our principles on key issues. As I mentioned, elections have consequences, and typically the public policy that flows from those consequences is very fluid. It changes. You know, one president, one Congress, they say 28% is the right number for a capital gains tax. New president, new Congress, they say, well, we really ought to be 0, but we'll settle for 15. And then the next one says, well, we're going to split the difference and it'll be 25. But it's fluid. Healthcare, driving private insurers out of business, taxing small businesses into the ground, making doctors employees of the federal bureaucracy, that's not fluid. That is a paradigm shift in public policy, and that's unacceptable. The healthcare system that they want to throw out the window has the highest cancer survival rate on the planet. The healthcare system, it's worthy of cheering. A lot of the success came from right here in the Tampa Bay area. It is worth noting that MD Anderson alone in Texas, just that one biomedical research center, thank you very much, just that one biomedical research center spends more on research every year than the whole nation of Canada. That ought to be scary to people who want to go to a Canadian model. You know how many doctors we lose in America who would rather practice someplace else? 0.6%. And they're missionaries. Yeah, they're doing the Lord's work. United Kingdom loses 13%, Canada loses 11%. If you go to school till you're 40, do you really want to end up with a government job at the end of the day? I mean, my goodness. But it's not perfect. I don't defend the system as perfect. In the city of Bartow, population 14,000. In the year right here, this day and age,